Blame Truth here, the Codfather himself, bringing you another video. If you guys could, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this, please like this because I want this to get seen by as many eyes as possible. Believe it or not, not everyone buys Call of Duty immediately upon release, so if you could like this, because I think this will steer a lot of people in the other direction if they end up seeing it, and every bit of support helps for the algorithm right now. This has been covered a little bit by other people, but it's not really been made a big deal. I've been waiting and sitting on this and just kind of mulling over it for the past week and doing my research and collecting all the data and evidence and stuff like that from articles, from other sources and whatnot, waiting to see if anything new's come out, and I think I'm finally ready to make this video. First and foremost, I hope you enjoy the Dead by Daylight gameplay. Truth be told, guys, and I can't even lie to you, Modern Warfare 3 is so fucking soulless. I can't even begin to describe how I perceive that game. It's just soulless. It's everything that is wrong with gaming. And I'm going to show you that I'm not the only one that thinks that a little later on. Like, this game just simply does not need to exist. And my brain can't get over that. It's horrible, but it's horrible in a different way. It's better gameplay-wise than Modern Warfare 2. I think it's a better game than Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2, but again, that's not saying much. That's like saying herpes is better than AIDS. But, it's like, am I wrong there? It's like saying that. But regardless, it seriously might be the worst video game I've ever seen, I've ever played. And I'll explain my thought process maybe a little later. I think this is going to be a pretty long video when it's all said and done, but I hope you enjoyed the Dead by Daylight gameplay. I've been playing this. I haven't really touched MW3. I can only bear one match and then I'm done. But let's get right on into the meat and potatoes. I'm sure you guys have heard this by now, but if you haven't, there's been some controversy and there's been some, I don't know how to say this, he said, she said. There's been some, I guess, just deception. Someone is lying to us, and I'm not sure who it is. But I'd be willing to bet that it's probably Activision and Sledgehammer at the end of the day. The people still working there, I mean. The people still trying to sell you the game. So, what am I talking about? Well, there was this article that came out about a week or two ago, I want to say, that basically was just throwing Modern Warfare 3 under the bus. It was saying that this game was developed on a time crunch, and ex-Sledgehammer devs even came out and said, like, we were basically forced to work slave hours. We were forced to work like sweatshop making your Nikes for Christmas hours, man. Like, it's just... And then something else came out refuting that, and they were saying like, nah, that's not the case. What? Nah, man. This is a full release game. We're all happy as a clam here over at Sledgehammer Games. I love going home after my 12-hour shift of recycling Infinity Ward's content to see my wife greeting me at the door at my $7,000 a month mortgage California home. And then after dinner, every night it's meatloaf, she pegs me. I'm so happy. I love it. Like, I can't be happier, really. I mean, come on, dude. Meanwhile, Bobby Kodak's, off camera with a gun pointed at this person's head as they give this testimony, but no, I digress. Speaking of that, though, let's just get right on into the actual articles here and show you guys what I'm talking about. This is going to be really, really interesting. Alright, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was developed in just 16 months, with some periods of crunch and communications issues between developer Sledgehammer Games and Modern Warfare creator Infinity Ward. That's according to a Bloomberg report citing several anonymous members of the development team who said the game was built in less than half the time, usually a 3-year cycle, as previous Call of Duty games. In fact, this is said to have had the shortest development time for a Call of Duty game in several years. It's also claimed they worked nights and weekends to finish the game in time for its launch day. Some devs said they felt betrayed because they were promised they would not face another shortened development cycle after the struggles of the previous project, Call of Duty Vanguard, which was also built under a constrained time crunch. As has been previously reported, the project is said to have started as an expansion to Modern Warfare 2 to fill the gap when the next full Call of Duty was said to be delayed into 2024. An Activision spokesperson denied Modern Warfare 3 was ever an expansion, stating that it was envisioned as a premium game from the beginning. However, Bloomberg cites more than a dozen current and former Call of Duty devs who say this is not what they were told. But wait, it gets better. Bloomberg's sources also expressed frustration at requiring content approval by Infinity Ward executives, saying slow feedback and the need to make significant and occasionally unwanted changes added to the stress of development. The report emerged as critics released reviews for the single-player campaign of Modern Warfare 3, awarding some of the lowest scores in the series' 20-year history. IGN, for example, gave it a 4 out of 10, while GameSpot granted 5 out of 10. GamesIndustry.biz sister site Eurogamer described the game as clearly rushed to market in a review entitled "Vapid and Hastily Assembled." I mean, you gotta love it. You know, you gotta love it on one hand. You gotta love Call of Duty getting what it finally deserves as far as like the critics go. I feel like Call of Duty can give you the worst multiplayer, the worst zombies, but if this 4-hour fucking campaign, you know, if Price comes out and says the line like, "It's Captain Price in time," then people lose their mind and they give it like a 9 out of 10. Woo. Like, guys, look, I keep saying this. I don't care about the campaign. It's like 4 hours long, 5 hours long, and now it's even shorter. It's 3 hours long, I think. I think if you even speedrun it, it's like 2.5 hours long. Stop buying this garbage for the campaign. Wait like a year before it to go on sale for like $20 if that's what you're wanting to do. If you pay $70 for a campaign like immediately upon release date, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. You probably also live in a California home with a $7,000 mortgage and enjoy getting pegged every night by your girlfriend who used to be a man. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Is that offensive? Please don't cancel me. Anyway. But hold on. As I rush to my teammate's safety, look at this play. I'm using off the record. Have the endurance. I can take the hit. Claudette actually wiggles out right before the hook. Man, I don't know. I've improved so much with this game. I'm so happy with myself. Just being a good teammate. It feels good being a good teammate. I can't really be that in Call of Duty aside from just, you know, going 30 and 15 and then we still lose. Anyway, let's keep covering this. It gets juicier. So Charlie Intel had this to tweet out. They said, new corroborating Bloomberg's report, several sources tell Charlie Intel one of the changes Infinity Ward made to Sledgehammer Games' Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer was removing a Pick-10 loadout system. The new system is a morphed version of what it once was. After hearing all this, I want to ask you guys this in the comment section below. You can chime in. Just pause the video, chime in the comment section below. Does it not sound like this was a sabotage job from Infinity Ward to Sledgehammer? Before Modern Warfare 3 came out, Sledgehammer was actually throwing a lot of shade at Infinity Ward, which is odd because that usually does not happen. Usually the studios are all congratulatory. Usually the studios are all like hunky-dory or whatever. Sledgehammer was straight up roasting Infinity Ward, saying like, hey, their game's slow as shit and made for dumbasses. You know, you need to play Modern Warfare 3 because it actually plays like a Call of Duty. And I will commend Sledgehammer for this. Gameplay-wise, it is great. It's everything else that's wrong with the game, and that's what makes it one of the worst games, personally, I've ever played, if not the worst. And I'm not exaggerating there. Before we get into the next topic here, I just want to say, like, if you just give Sledgehammer the keys to the kingdom here, if you just said, here, you can make a game, no restraints, no handcuffs, no outside interference, fix this mess. And they didn't have anything to do with like skill-based matchmaking. They had nothing to do with wanting to sell you bundles and crap from the store. I truly do think, especially with Treyarch like helping, that we would have gotten one of the best Call of Duties, if not the best Call of Duty of all time. I've been harsh on the devs, and I say like, hey, they're not very talented, and I don't think a lot of them are. Sledgehammer, I mean, they've been disappointing me for a long time. But I will say this, and I know it's not like a lot of the same devs even working there, but back in the day, Modern Warfare 2, the OG, it was a good game. Some would say great, but it was marred by the fact that the devs were going to have a balancing update, but then everyone like quit because there was some controversy. Again, the players are punished for the behind-the-scenes drama and crap, right? Modern Warfare 2, they were going to have a patch to fix a lot of just the crazy balance issues like one-man army noob tubes, which at the time really ruined the game. I mean, it still ruins the game. Who am I kidding? So if that were to happen, I mean, Modern Warfare 2 would be even more legendary than it already is. However, that never came to fruition. Infinity Ward quit. So what Activision did was like, hey, we need to hire a new studio. So they hired Sledgehammer, and then Sledgehammer and the remaining remnants of Infinity Ward made the OG Modern Warfare 3. And the OG Modern Warfare 3, I truly do think, is one of the most underrated Call of Duties of all time. I remember being so upset over the controversy and the fact that like Modern Warfare 2, the OG, back in the day didn't get that update, that balance patch, because like, I mean, the One Man Army noob tube thing ruined the game. It truly did. If you played back then, you know. I was so just upset. Like I'm just like, man, I'm not doing this anymore. Like I don't think I want to buy MW3. It looks kind of like just a mod of MW2. It's going to be the same old song and dance. But no, Sledgehammer stepped up to the plate. They made lemonade out of just a big bag of lemons, you know, like, and they made one of the best Call of Duties of all time, and like history's repeating itself right here. Like they have Modern Warfare 3 here, but now Activision's hands, it's in the cookie jar. You have this game that fixes all Infinity Ward's crap that they've done, the stupid crap that they've done, but they are handcuffed by this skill-based matchmaking system, by making everything just lead back to the store. It's not even a video game. It's not even a video game anymore, guys. It's just an avenue to get you into the store. The skill-based matchmaking has been ramped up. That's been confirmed. The gunsmith system feels like it's just a mess. It's just a complete mess. There doesn't need to be 50 different attachments for your gun barrel. Nothing has any soul, nothing has any personality, everything is recycled, and Sledgehammer, all they have to do now is just fix some bugs. You know, like, I mean, fix some bugs and give us some new content, but they don't have proper QA testers, clearly. I'm harsh on these devs, but it's very clear at this point. It's very clear at this point that they can't make the game and play test it. We are the motherfucking beta testers, and I'm so sick of it. Let me get into the next part of this video, though, the next chapter, so to speak, because we have conflicting information. All right, next part of the video here. Modern Warfare 3 developer Sledgehammer has denied reports of rushed development and a crunch on its staff. Modern Warfare 3, 2023's Call of Duty title, celebrates 20 years of Activision shooter series with returning maps, a huge amount of guns and weapons to master, and the return of zombies. Despite this, the latest installment hasn't gone down well with players. Following a Bloomberg report revealing a short development time and a crunch on staff attempting to finish the game on time, Sledgehammer Games has refuted the claim, stating Modern Warfare 3 was years in the making, stating anything said to the contrary is simply not true. The head dev is lying to our faces. But wait, it gets even better. The 16-month development time is contrary to Halon's statement, which says Modern Warfare 3 was years in the making. Whether the game's development was rushed or took a while to fine-tune, the opinions of players are split. We'll never know if Advanced Warfare 2 would have outperformed Modern Warfare 3. Perhaps it's time for Microsoft to intervene and let Call of Duty take a year off to ensure a high level of quality is maintained. Thank you. This game on Metacritic is just getting thrown under the bus. Usually users are not very happy with the current Call of Duty, the longtime fans. They kind of review bomb it, but this is worse than I've ever seen because this is also kind of getting review bombed from the critics, the professional critics that, you know, wouldn't know an M16 from an MP5 that played the 4-hour campaign. They're like, oh, I love that Captain Price's mustache. I'd like the mustache ride that man. Like, you know, they give it like a 9 out of 10 because of that. Even they can't stand this. Like, even they are crapping on this because the campaign even sucks. The zombies I've heard is pretty good, but I've heard it's crashing constantly, and there's bugs and sentry gun issues and stuff. And the multiplayer, well, you know how I feel about that. Gameplay is great. Everything else makes me want to die. Yeah. So now here we are. We have this completely recycled, rushed pile of garbage that we have to play for the rest of the year. Well, we don't have to play it. And if you want to really get down to the nitty-gritty here, I think this is the year. I truly do think this is the year. If someone wants to step up, if some FPS wants to step up, I mean, Fortnite's already kind of stepping up with Fortnite OG, and that's no, I know it's not an FPS, but if some other game wants to step up and just be like, hey, we're making a game and it's not going to be crappy. I'm looking at you, X Defiant. I'm looking at you, Mark Rubin. You guys want to step up? I think it's time, because we've seen that gamers are desperate here. I saw a huge increase in players to Battlefield 2042. I got to give the devs credit for at least trying to salvage that game. And from what I understand, Battlefield 2042 is in a pretty good spot right now. I might even do a Battlefield 2042 gameplay. I got one from my buddy Sephi. I might put that up on the next video. Who knows? But like, I think shooter fans are really, really desperate, and they really want a shooter treat. I would like a shooter treat. I would like a shooter treat. I've not had a shooter treat in a while. I've just been getting garbage. I've been getting garbage, and I'm yelling and I'm screaming in these videos, and I'm upset, and I can't even play the new one. Like, something's wrong when Blame Truth, the guy who's been playing Call of Duty for the past 16 years now. 16 years now. I'll play him for better or for worse. I'll grind him at least until the end of December. I can't even, like, the game's out. I have no desire at all to play it. I'm not acting for you guys. I'm not making that up. I'm not just saying it for me to be, like, controversial. I'm not saying it to be entertaining. This game, it's not even a game. It's completely vapid. I am going to play it to get to level 55 at least, just to give my full final review. I have to do it. But just rest assured, like, just know, I really, really, really don't want to. I've never played a game that's this ungame-like. Like, this is just not what I thought gaming would be in 2023, man. This is not what I thought it would be when I first booted up my NES, you know, back when I was 3 years old. This is not what I want. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you could rate this, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe for more. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace out.
Is some parting advice?